Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Venom came. Plastic's still on the thing. So, like I said in my other video that I just uploaded, I thought it was going to come today, and I'm glad it did because, as I said in the other video, I'm going out of town, so I won't be able to do the playthrough until after I get back. But I'll have this for you guys, and then I'll have a couple other playthroughs of other stuff, and then like the Monday or Tuesday I get back, I'll have a playthrough up to this. So I'm really excited about this. I haven't seen what the cards do. Aside from the ones that they showed in the previews, I've done my best to keep... Like, I know what the cards are, the heroes. I don't know what any of the schemes are. I don't know what either mastermind does. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Take a look at this. Alright, so... We've got Venomverse as the team. So, dark, dripping, violent, and scary, Venom is one of the most iconic characters in the Marvel Universe. The Venom symbiote is originally an alien life form on Earth. It bonded to a series of human hosts, coating each in a deadly shell with razor claws and alien goo. Peter Parker unknowingly wore the Venom suit. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. Let's kind of just go through. We've got Carnage, Life Foundation, we've got Carlton Drake. If you've seen the Venom film, we'll know about that, which we can actually probably kind of do a playthrough now of. In Venomverse, a new race of alien symbiotes called poisons are fusing with Venom symbiotes. So we're going to kind of go past that stuff. If you guys want to read it, I'll just kind of leave it here. And you guys, sorry about you can see through the back. So symbiote bonds. Okay, so here's one of the new keywords here. So keyword represents how symbiotes, but like Hybrid, Riot, and Lasher bond with other characters, enhancing them with a dark shell. You must fight the combined strength of the host and symbiote to split them apart, then finish off what remains in a second fight. Interesting. So it's almost like the Uber Metal, like, well, you don't necessarily have to fight them twice, but there's a chance you could fight them. Well, I guess that's not really making sense. It's more like the Subterranea, where you have to fight them a second time to kind of finish them off. Okay, so like some villains say ambush, a henchman villain from your victory pile, symbiote bonds with Lasher. And that means that the card on the specified villain, stack the card on top or onto the specified villain, combining them into a single villain with both their attacks and text added together. So I'm guessing that means you get the fight effect. Oh yeah, to fight a combined villain, you must spend the total attack of both villains combined, rescue all bystanders that combined villain had, then put either one of those villain cards from the combined villain into your victory pile and do that card's fight effect. The other card from the combined villain stays in the city and you don't do its fight effect. Okay, but you have to fight them both. So it's like basically stacking villains. Interesting. Okay. If a combined villain escapes, it's only a single escape, so it only KOs one hero that costs 6 less from the HQ. It's carrying bystanders. It makes all players discard a single card as normal. Do the escape abilities effects of both villain cards in any order. Once in the escape pile, they are two unattached villains again. Keep one card of the combined villain tucked onto the other so you can see both attacks and text. Since I'm trying to like read it so that the back, because I'm reading it through the phone. Since the combined villain has the text of both its villain cards, it gets extra attack or restrictions from the various special abilities on either of its cards. It also counts as both cards' villain groups. Oh, that's really interesting. So that kind of adds a layer of kind of difficulty to them. Like you get any bonuses. Yeah, so since it's combined, it gets extra attack or restrictions from... Okay. Symbiote bonds never combine more than 2 villains in one city space. Ignore any effects that would combine a third villain in that city space. Once 2 villains are bonded, only fighting can break them up. Other symbiote bonds can break up a single villain to attach one card. Okay, I didn't read it. Once 2 villains are bonded, only fight other symbiote abilities can't break up a combined villain to attach one. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading this for the first time. So, if a symbiote villain ability puts a new villain card into the city from the villain deck, escape pile, victory pile, etc., do any ambush ability on the newly entered card. However, the ambush ability won't be able to break up a combined villain or add a third card to it. So, it comes in as if it came from the deck, unless it has to do with adding to it, like combining to or already combined villain. Okay, the special ability automatically defeats a combined villain. You put just one of its cards into the victory pile and do that card's fight effect. A combined villain has victory points of both its cards combined, so when you spend piercing energy from X-Men, it equals both, total combined victory points, and then putting one of the cards. So like when it talks about like, you're thinking like Silver Surfer, and I mentioned Silver Surfer because he's going to be in a video very soon. His one common yes, common that defeats a villain that's 5 or 6. That's a case where it's the card ability that defeats a villain. Or if you think about Stature has the one card that defeats like a henchman with 3 or less, or maybe a villain with 3 or less. I don't remember if it's specified as henchman. So stuff like that, or Piercing Energy, as you know from X-Men. So that's really, really cool. And I'm glad this long explanation was for it, because I feel I can raise a lot of questions. So I'm really glad about that. So let's see. Poison villains use symbiote bonds in a special way. For example, Poison Dr. Octopus says fight. This villain bonds with a villain in the bank. If already bonded or unable to bond, gain this as a hero instead. Interesting. So Doc Ock enters the city as normal villain. When you fight him, if there's a villain in the bank, then Poison Dr. Octopus will bond with that villain. If there's no villains in the bank, you gain a Poison Dr. Octopus as a hero instead, putting him in your discard pile. Once Poison Dr. Octopus becomes bonded, if you fight that combined villain, you choose one of the 2 villains to fight and do its fight effect. If you choose Poison Dr. Octopus and then, since it's currently bonded, you gain him as a hero. When facing poison villains, be careful when you fight them. So be careful about when you fight them, so you can turn them into heroes as soon as possible. Okay, so it's glad to know that, like, say he's bonded to a villain in the bank, you know, playing another card from the villain deck, it pushes the city, and he ends up in the, you know, in the rooftops or in the city. The whole thing is the city, rooftops or the bridge or something, and you fight him again, he doesn't jump to the bank again, because that could be really annoying. Okay, so let's go on to the next keyword here. So we've got digest. So some heroes say digest 2, draw a card. Use this ability only if you have at least that many cards in your victory pile. So this can be, I think, very powerful when you're playing solo, because you're getting all the cards. I can see this being very strong in solo. All cards in your victory pile count for digest. This includes henchmen, regular villains, bystanders, tactics, traps, etc. You don't have to remove cards from your victory pile to use digest. Even if you have 10 cards in your victory pile, you can't use a card's digest 2 ability 5 times just once. So that's good to know. Indigestion. Venom shares a twisted sense of humor with the original Venom and Carnage. It wasn't enough to have for them to digest abilities while eating people. They had to have indigestion abilities too. Okay, so if you don't have enough cards in your victory pile to use a digest ability, use its indigestion instead. So for example, some heroes say digest 4, draw 2 cards, indigestion, you get +2 recruit. When you play this card, if you have at least 4 cards in your victory pile, you use digest ability and draw 2 cards. If you have 0 to 3 cards in your victory pile, use indigestion and get 2 recruit instead. If you have enough cards in your victory pile to use digest ability, you cannot choose to use indigestion ability instead. So that's another good to know, is that you're forced. So that's really cool, because you can kind of plan for late game. Like, it's just a really cool kind of flexibility with that. We'll have to see what the card effects do when it comes to that. We have excessive violence here, so it's back from Deadpool. So if you don't know, excessive violence is you will pay 1 extra attack, and then you do the ability of excessive violence. So let's see, we have an example here. Okay, so excessive violence, draw a card. So if you fight something that has 7, you pay 8, and you get you use 6 excessive violence. It's okay to play 2 cards with the same card name. Use excessive violence and use both cards' effects. If you fight using excessive violence and then draw 1 or more cards with excessive violence ability later in the turn, it'll be too late to use those abilities. Since you only fight using excessive violence once per turn, you can only use a card's excessive violence ability once. Oh, okay. But if you have multiple cards with excessive violence, you can activate both their effects so long as it's when you're fighting. And then we've got contents and everything we know. Okay, so let's, after 10 minutes of talking about crap, let's get into the cards, because this is what we're really here for. And like I said, I know what the heroes are. I know what the villain group is and masterminds are, but I don't know what anything does. So let's kind of go with, we're gonna go with Venom first. Okay. All right, so Venom's first common. So Devouring Drool. He's a yellow hero. 3 cost. Digest, you get 2 attack. Indigestion, you get 2 recruit. Play a yellow hero, you get both. Yes. And as you guys saw in my video about my favorite heroes, like things with versatile is like my favorite ability. And so this is very close to that. And like a 2 cost, like this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. This is broken. This is broken for solo play. This is so good. So the first common there. We've got his other common, Razor Teeth, excessive violence, you get +2 recruit. So that's pretty good, straightforward, 4 cost to attack, and then you possibly get 2 recruit if you kill something. So that's really good. It's green. Let's see, we've got his uncommon here, symbiotic adaptation. Sorry. The artwork on this is so good. Choose one. You get +1 recruit for each other card you played this turn with recruit, or you get +1 attack for each card you play. This is so good. I'm so hyped for Venom. Venom is going to be so good. I'm so hyped. And then we've got the rare here, Insatiable Hunger. So digest 8, KO card from your victory pile, you get +6 attack. Indigestion, KO card from your hand or discard pile, you get +6 recruit. And then you play 2 Venomverse heroes. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Venomverse, you get to do both. Instead, do both. So it's a lot of attack, but you're dropping down your thing, but you can start KOing some of your cards. So this one it's pretty good, but I'm kind of mixed about it because I don't want to lose cards from my victory pile. Now, but if you're playing with, like, you know, if you're playing with, like, Nova or, like some of the champions where you're getting a bunch of recruits or a bunch of bystanders, it'll be fine. Then you can utilize some of those, like, both attack and recruit stuff, like as common or as uncommon, I mean. So, okay, anyway, kind of theorycraft in there. Let's see. We got Carnage now, which I'm really hyped for, and this artwork is so dope. The Black Claws. So here's his first common. Rendering Claws, excessive violence, draw cards. So it's pretty straightforward. 3 cost, 2 attack cards. So pretty straightforward, pretty good there. We've got Carnivore, which he's grabbed one of those, like, ugly little things. Digest 4, draw 2 cards, and Digestion 2 recruit. So it's pretty good too. He'd be willing to eat Groot salad too. That's pretty funny. But that's really good. You'll get 2 recruit for a while, and then later in the game, it's just basically that side game lets you draw 2 cards. So I like that a lot, and it's only 4 costs. I like that a lot. The uncommon here is Gruesome Feast. Excessive violence, reveal a type card of your deck. You may KO it. That's great. That's really, really good. Anything to help you KO cards is great. And his rare, Feast or Famine, excessive violence, reveal a type card of your deck. If it costs 0, KO it, and you may repeat this process. Okay, so Carnage looks like straight up one of my favorite cards. Just based on what he does, he might be one of my favorite cards. So I'll definitely have to do in a year, or maybe after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes out, which I'll talk about that in a bit at the end of this, revise my favorite heroes if we're getting all these cool things. So let's go with Venom Rocket. So this is what I'm really cool about this, because I wasn't really sure who they were going to pick. Obviously, we knew Venom and Carnage were going to be in it, but the other 3, it's kind of cool that they're doing some different heroes. So we've got Venom Rocket here. Digest 3. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So it's kind of, I think one of his Guardians cards was something about that. So it's kind of akin to that. So that's pretty cool. Again, all these are like yellow, so it's really nice that they're like, they all kind of work together. So let's see here. Okay, so if a Master Strike, this is Spring the Trap. If a Master Strike or villain has the ambush effect, was played this turn, you get +1, so that's pretty cool. It's 2 attacks, so it's not bad, but 4 costs, so... but it can be nice on the turns that you're getting destroyed by Master Strikes. We've got his uncommon here, Serious Overkill. Excessive violence, you may KO a card from your hand or discard pile. That's great. It's kind of a bummer that's 2, but I can understand it being, otherwise it'd be kind of broken. And then finally his rare... let's see. Ultimate Survivor. When a Master Strike is played before its effect takes effect, you may put Ultimate Survivor from your hand on top of your deck. If you do, you may put any card from the HQ into your hand. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Okay. And... okay. So, Venom Eyes, Doctor Strange. I'm excited about this because I don't really like Doctor Strange's card, and Doctor Strange, Soldier Supreme, the Doctor Punisher, it's kind of okay. So like, I hope this card is really cool because I like Doctor Strange, so I hope this is really cool. Okay, so let's see. The first one is Cauldron of the Cosmos, which we got Poison Venom there, or not Poison Venom, Poison Thanos there. So digest 2, draw a card. So it's pretty good. 2 cost card, 1 recruit, and then if you've got the 2 cards in your victory pile, that's just a nice draw card. We've got see the future timelines. If you play a blue hero, reveal top card of your deck. If it costs 0, discard it, and you get +2. Well, that's nice. It's nice early game, but later in the game it might not necessarily be as valuable because you're ideally getting rid of those 0-cost cards. We've got his uncommon here being Complete the Grand Ritual. If you played a 4-cost card and a 2-cost card this turn, you get +2. So I guess those are those cards because one's 2 and one's 4, so that's funny. Making him 6 attack is pretty good. And then finally we have his rare Crystal of... What does that say? It's not focusing, so I can't read it. Why can't I get this to focus? There we go. Cadavus? I don't know. That artwork is sick, though. And it's... Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, draw one of them, discard one, and KO one, and then do this ability again. So that's really good. It's just that's a straightforward, nice ability. Getting rid of stuff's great. Drawing cards is great. So, and you can do it again if you play another. I played 2 Venomverse heroes. Okay, and then finally, and this was the one that I really didn't know until I looked up after people got it, which is Venom Deadpool, which I think or Venom Pool. So we actually think we might have saw that in the rule sheet here. So. Digest that chimichanga. That's funny. Digest 2. You get you get +2 attack. Indigestion, rescue bystander. Instead, you do both. This is really good because you get these early. Drop them. You get 2 bystander rescue. Why is rescue in quotations? I guess because it's like Venom or it's Deadpool stuff. But this is really good. 2 attack for 2 cost. I think that's really really good. That's really really good. Oh, I thought I was missing a card. I was going to be really upset. Okay. We have got Shenanigans. Oh, perfect. I get a card called Shenanigans. I really like that. Why won't this focus? Okay, draw 2 cards, but you can't draw any more cards until the end of this turn. It's pretty good. It's 3 cost, and you always have it, so you basically get an extra card because this will count for one of the 2 cards. But I wonder if... Yeah, so... The way that I read this is draw 2 cards, but you can't draw any more cards until the end of this turn. That if you play something, like if I play like a sidekick that lets me draw 2, if I do that first and then I play this, I'm okay. Because I've done it before this card effect. But if I were to do something that would make me draw a card before the end of my turn, like a fight effect maybe or whatever, you don't get to do the draw of that. Only unless it says draw an extra card when you're drawing in your hand. So that's the way I understand that. So if not, let me know, but that's the way I get it. Can I get a little gratitude? That's really cool artwork. When you rescue a bystander this turn, do any rescue ability on it an extra time, and then excessive violence rescue a bystander. That is really, really cool. Whenever you rescue a bystander this turn, do any rescue ability on it an extra time. Any rescue ability. So is there... Interesting. Whenever you rescue a bystander this turn, do any rescue ability on an extra time. Rescue a bystander. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. And then we've got Play to the Crowd. And Digest 7. You get +1 for every each 2 bystanders in your victory pile. And Digest can rescue 2 bystanders. And then you do both instead do both in order. Otherwise, because you get basically an extra attack if you did the indigestion ability first. So this actually might work really well with Black Widow, with the bystander stuff. That's pretty cool. That's really really good. I'll have to try the him Black Widow. So those are our heroes. I like them a lot. Funny and well, I would say probably my least favorite of them might be the Rocket, which I don't think is bad at all. But which is a testament to how good these are. So I'm really excited to try to play them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the villain groups. So first, we're going to do the Life Foundation. So in the comics, the Life Foundation made a bunch of... Oh, there's a light because it's starting to get dark. Like symbiote children from Venom, I think. So let's take a look. So Riot here. Ambush. Reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a villain, the symbiote bonds with Riot. And when you fight, you KO one of your heroes. So it's pretty straightforward. We've got 2 of those. We've got Lasher here. Ambush, a henchman villain from your victory pile. Symbiote bonds with Lasher. So you've got like a 5 attack thing basically to deal with. 2 of those. We have Phage. Ambush, a villain from your from the escape pile or your victory pile. Symbiotes with bonds with Phage. That can be pretty annoying to deal with. And then we've got Agony. Reveal the top 3 cards. Ambush. Reveal the top 3 cards of the villain deck. A villain you revealed symbiote bonds with Agony. Put the rest back in any order. And then if there's escape ability, each player reveals a red hero or gains a wound. This one's not too bad because you can kind of manipulate the top of the deck or not put as bad of a card to deal with on there. And then we have Scream. Ambush. Reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a henchman or Life Foundation villain, it's symbiote bonds with Scream. And then finally we have Dr. Carlton Drake. Fight each yellow or black hero currently in the HQ costs 1 less. So, kind of what we expected to see. Pretty interesting there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other villain group, the Poisons. So we have Poison Spider-Man, which this is awesome artwork. Fight this symbiote bond. This symbiote bonds with another villain in the city. If already bonded or unable to bond, gain this as hero. And it's a 2 attack card when you gain it as hero. Real top card of your deck. If it's 2 or less, draw it. So that's pretty straightforward to Spider-Man. We've got Poison Dr. Octopus. Let's see. Fight. This symbiote bonds with a villain in the bank. If already bonded or unable to bond, okay, gain as hero, and then you get to draw a card. So that's pretty good. Ooh, Poison Scarlet Witch. All right, so fight. This symbiote bonds with a villain within a city with an odd number attack. If already bonded or unable to bond, gain as a hero. So odd number attack, interesting. And then when you get it as a hero, it's a 2 attack card. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an odd number card, has odd number cost, draw it. So that's interesting. We have Poison Storm. Oh, that's really cool. Fight. The symbiote bonds with somebody on the bridge or rooftop. And then, obviously, if it's bonded or unable to bond, gain as a hero. And then if you play a blue hero, you get +2 only used against Mastermind. I like cards like that. It helps, that's quite a bit of attack. Poison Sabretooth. Fight. This symbiote with somebody in the streets. If already bonded, you gain it as a hero. And then it's 2 attack when you get it. And look at the top card of your deck. You may KO it. Poison Captain America. That's really cool. He bonds with another villain in the city, so it doesn't matter who it is. It can be any spot. And then you get +1 for each color hero you have, and then including yellow and gray. So he could be up to 6 attack. Poison Hulk. This bonds with a henchman in the city, and then if it's already bonded, you get it. And then if you play a green hero, you get +2, so he could actually be 4 attack, which is pretty good. And then Symbiotic Armor. So these little ugly things. Ambush. This symbiote bonds with the Mastermind. When you fight the Mastermind, defeat Symbiotic Armor and KO one of your heroes instead of taking a tactic. That is rough. That's rough because you have to basically fight the Mastermind a second, or like an extra time. That's really tough. I guess it's worth 6 victory points, so it's basically, but that's really rough. And you just get to KO one of your heroes instead of taking a tactic. Yeah, that's a rough one. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Masterminds here. So I don't know what either of these do. I know we've got Hybrid here. Always leads the Life Foundation. So if you fight Hybrid while he's bonded to a villain, defeat that villain and rescue 3 bystanders instead of taking a tactic. Oh my goodness. These are so hard. So no wonder these guys are all busted. Like some of these powers are really strong because these guys are hard to take out. And is there an epic side? Okay, there is. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Life Foundation, so we said that. So a villain from the city symbiote bonds with Hybrid. If Hybrid is already bonded, then each player gains a wound. So villain in the city, from the city. So you move that villain and put it on him. Okay, golly. And then his epic side says, if you fight villain, he's bonded, take... Okay, the highest attack unbonded villain from the city and or escape house symbiote bonds with Hybrid. If no new bond would occur, then each player gains a wound. So that changes. If I understand that right, for the epic side, that changes. The highest unbonded villain from the city... Oh, no, that's not true. It's just whoever takes, and if there's not another bond there, then that... And he's 8 attack. Oh, gosh, that looks like a rough one. Okay, so let's take a look at these tactics here. So Alien Awakening, first tactic here. If this is not the final tactic, a henchman villain from any victory pile, symbiote bonds with Hybrid. So basically, it looks like he just kind of starts getting... That's his gimmick, is just getting stronger. If this is not the final tactic, a villain from the city or escape pile bonds with Hybrid. You get +1 for each Life Foundation villain in the victory pile. And then finally, if this is not the final tactic, reveal the top 4 cards of the villain deck. A henchman villain you revealed bonds with hybrid, put the rest back in any order. So basically just like he's 6 attack, but he basically is going to be like anywhere from like 9 to 12 or, you know, stuff like that. So he's not that easy for only being 6 attack. All right, so this is the one I've been really waiting for, Poison Thanos. Poison Thanos gets +1 for each different cost card among his Poisonous Souls pile. Poisons, okay, he always leads poisons. Master Strike, each player reveals their hand and puts one of their non-gray heroes next to Thanos in a Poison Souls pile. So if you know from the Guardian set, from his, he has like a Bounded Soul pile, so that's like a similar thing. But he gets +1 for each different cost. That's rough. He's already 12. So his Epic Side's 13, and he gets +2 for each one. And then each player reveals their hand and puts half round up of their non-gray heroes next to Thanos in their Poison Souls pile. Each player that lost no heroes this way gains a wound. Holy crap. Holy crap. That is insane. Yo, there's no way. There's no way. That's so crazy. So Epic Poison Thanos is busted. There's no way. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these tactics here. Smearing poisons. Each other player discards a poison card from their hand or gains a wound. So you have to start getting them heroes if you get that tactic, or you're going to gain a wound. So let's take a look. Let's see. Poison loyalties. Each other player puts a poison card from their discard pile into Poison Thanos' Poison Souls pile. Let me see. What did this say? Poison Thanos is +1 for each different cost card among his Poison Souls. This says each other player puts a poison card from their discard pile in his Poison Souls pile. So like, I guess that costs 0. So it's a way to automatically bump him up 1. Because the non-gray heroes won't go. The gray heroes won't go in there. So, you may gain a hero from Thanos' Poison Souls pile. So that's another way you can always, you know. Okay. And then we've got put all heroes that cost 5 or more from the HQ in a Thanos Poison Souls pile. Jeez. So you don't really get rewarded for taking these. You just get really crapped on. That's really crazy. Okay, cool. So it's really cool. So it looks like he's going to be really tough. All right, and then we have the schemes, which I know nothing about. So I'm really excited to jump into these. So we've got Invasion of the Venom Symbiotes. Set up a twist, add an extra henchman group. The twist enters the city as a 3-attack symbiote villain worth 3 victory points in ambush. This villain symbiote bonds with another villain in the city. Play another card from the villain deck. And then evil wins when the villain pile has 3 cards per player or the villain deck runs out. So in solo, you'd only add 3 extra cards from a villain group. Because otherwise it would say explicitly add 10 cards. So you'd add... so that's cool. And then this but the play the extra card from the villain deck is going to make this one tough. But this one seems like pretty cool. I always like cards to add extra cards to the villain deck for solo because it's really, really hard. Otherwise, it can be very challenging otherwise. All right, we have Maximum Carnage. All right, so 10 twists. Wound stack has 6 wounds per player. So twist. Stack this twist next to the scheme. If the streets are empty, put a bystander there as a possessed psychotic villain in the streets. Oh, if the streets weren't empty, then each player gains a wound. So streets are later. It should be fairly easy to keep that empty, especially in solo. Special rules. Possessed psychotics have equal attack for the number of twists next to the scheme. When you fight one, rescue as a bystander. And then evil wins when there are 6 bystanders in the escape pile or when the villain deck runs out. So they can have up to 10 attacks, so that can be very difficult. It'd be pretty cool to play with Carnage as well because it's just like he's doing crazy crap, just running around the city. And then you can like play Spider-Man and play with Venom to team them up. So that's probably a cool scheme. Paralyzing Venom, we have 6 twists. All bystanders are also biochemists. Each player KOs a biochemist from their victory pile or discards down to 4 cards. Twist 6, evil wins. What? That just seems very difficult. KO all biochemists from their victory pile, discard down to 4 cards. That's rough. That seems like a hard scheme. And then finally, Symbiotic Absorption, 11 twist. Set aside a second Drained Mastermind and its 4 tactics out of play. Add its always leads villain villains as an extra villain group. And then we have twists 1 through 4. Shuffle one drained tactic into the main mastermind's tactics. Twist 6, 8, and 10. The mastermind uses its twist to copy the master strike ability of the drained. Uses this twist to copy the mastermind's drained mastermind ability. And evil wins. Special rules: if tactics or master strikes mention the drained mastermind, use the main mastermind instead. So we have to kill both? Let me reread this. Set aside a second, quote, drained mastermind and its 4 tactics out of play. So it's out of play. Add its always leads villain as a group. Okay, well, I guess that's because if its tactics have to do with its bit like group, like, you know, then that's why it does that. Shuffle one of the drained mastermind tactics into the main mastermind tactics. So essentially you'll have to have 8 tactics to get rid of. Twist 6, 8, and 10. The mastermind uses its twist to copy the master strike ability. Okay, so the twist comes out, then you do the master strike ability of the other mastermind. And then twist 11, evil wins. And then if a tactic or master strike mentions the drain mastermind, you use that main mastermind instead. So like if it's hybrid is the if hybrid's the, I guess, the drained, his master strike is a villain with symbiotic bond, and Thanos is the main, then they would bond with Thanos. Oh my gosh, that sounds so hard. It sounds so difficult. So there we go, guys. There is the unboxing of Venom, overview of it. Let me know what you guys think of the playthrough, or if you've played with him. I know he's been out for like a week. Like I said, I won't get the playthrough out until not this next week because I'll be out of town, but the week after. It'll be like one of the first things I do that week. So I'll have that out for you guys as soon as I can. And then I also wanted to talk about, so in Upper Deck, like there's like an image floating around of Upper Deck's like release schedule for the rest of the year. And there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the end of the year. So it's going to be like the small box, I'm assuming, like Ant-Man was in the fall. But there's one for, it's called Revelations and Dimensions. And if they are possibly the Legendary Dimensions, Legendary Revelations, if those are also Marvel, because they had other ones like James Bond and they had like Alien Encounters expansion and stuff like that. So if they're Marvel, is that 4 small boxes this year, including Venom and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or is it 2 big boxes, or one of them big and we get 3 small boxes? And if they are Marvel, what do you guys think they are? If they're not Marvel, what do you guys think they are? And if you think they're small or big, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of Venom. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video.